Grand Rising. Happy Friday. I pray everybody woke up in a positive and productive mindset today. I'm in the positive mindset today, but my productivity mindset is struggling to get going this morning. So I pray that God helps us with that today. If you're struggling with that today, I don't know about you guys, but this full moon energy has really, it's took a number on me this time. But, it is what it is. 33 seconds on the timer. We bounce back from it, right? We always do. All right, so I'm here for the daily devotion from the Sarah Young's Jesus Calling. It won't be long until I'll be having to find a new book. We're moving on up to the east side. Okay, anyways. Here we go. September 20th, 2024. Try to see things more and more from my perspective, from the higher perspective, right? Let the light of my presence so fully fill your mind that you view the world through me. When little things don't go as you had hoped, look at me lightheartedly and say, oh well. This simple discipline can protect you from being burdened with an accumulation of petty cares and frustrations. If you practice this diligently, you will make a life-changing discovery. You realize that the most of the things that worry you are not important. Boy. If you shrug them off immediately and return your focus to me, you will walk through your days with lighter steps and a joyful heart. Boy, haven't we all been there? When serious problems come your way, you will have more reserves for dealing with them. You will not have squandered your energy on petty problems. You may even reach the point where you can agree with the Apostle Paul that all your troubles are light and momentary, compared with the eternal glory being achieved by them. If we do it right, we become better, right? We become better people. We make better choices. If we learn from our mistakes, if we retain the lessons that are gained along the way. And sometimes that's easier said than done. When she talks about having more reserves to dealing with the big problems, if you really break that down, it can be applied to so many different areas of life. Sometimes the problem, not sometimes, all the time, those moments where we're in situations that there's no way you could have prepared there's no way you could have prepared for it. Like losing a parent. No matter what the relationship is between you and that parent, there's no way you can predict how you're emotionally and physically going to respond when it actually happens. You may even surprise yourself. And I am a firm believer that those moments are intended to make us stronger. If we do it right. Are we going to let the loss of a loved one destroy all of our hopes of a better tomorrow? Are we going to wallow in our tears when a relationship ends and just waste our life away? When you lose that job that you based your whole life around, are you going to let it take your life with it? Or are you going to stand up and fight another day? We all make choices sometimes that aren't necessarily the right choices. But all choices lead to understanding. Even if you don't accomplish the goal you originally set out to accomplish, you've learned a lesson. You know what not to do. You may not know exactly what to do, but at least now you know what not to do, right? And unfortunately, sometimes we have to see it from multiple perspectives for it to sink in. But in that process, we strengthen things in ourselves that, at the time we may not even realize that that's what's happening. Strengthening your intuition, strengthening your morals, strengthening your energy, being able to handle more, but not having to handle more because, you've learned not to put yourself in those situations, right? Because that peace becomes valuable. Once you get to that point to where, for the most part, you've forgiven those that have wronged you. And for the most part, you've forgiven yourself. I think that because life is always happening, I don't think we ever get to that point of ultimate forgiveness. It's something just like so many other things that we constantly work on throughout our lives. If we're living life, you're not going to be able to prevent that kind of stuff. But it's meant to help us grow and not only understand ourselves, but understand the people in the world around us and understand how much it really does affect you. There are people that will suck your energy dry and then throw you out like an empty soda bottle. There are other people that, even though they value you, they value themselves more. There are people that value others too much and become completely dependent on them. There are others that never form those connections with people out of fear that it's going to end badly, which is a rightful fear. Once you get burned so many times, you just don't have a fire. Right? Like, why even risk it? And usually in that time, we go through that isolation process. And that's where you find that peace. And once you find it, once you get a little taste of it, you want more. You start seeing how you change, your body changes, your thought process changes, you're talking less and seeing more, so you're understanding more. You're paying attention to the rhythm, to the synchronicities, to everything all around, that if you truly do believe, and being a believer, especially in Jesus Christ, there's no way that you can say that there's not life after death. They make their presence known in so many different ways. It never ceases to amaze me. So I'm going to say this, and then we're going to go. Remember to thank your ancestors, your spirit guides, the archangels, your guardian angels, the Most High, Yahweh, Yahshua. Yahshua, I think I have discovered that Yahshua was his true name, not Jesus. Yahshua, I think. That being said, the scripture that she referenced to go with our devotional today was Proverbs chapter 20, verse 24. and 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verses 17 and 18. It's the things that we desire most that our hearts will run toward. So if you desire money, that's what your heart's going to run toward. It's very important that we know what we want and what we don't want. What we're going to allow and what we're not going to allow. Things you're going to tolerate and things that you won't tolerate. At some point, you have, if you want to achieve, some sort of ultimate happiness, you have to know what that's going to require. What makes you happy? What doesn't make you happy? What pisses you off? What makes you sad? Those things are okay in small doses, but example, scrolling on YouTube. If you're watching a bunch of sad, recovery videos or dog rescue videos or just sad stuff, it's gonna make you sad. Period. There's no way for that. If you are affected by things like that, there's no way it's not. Some people don't sit and scroll social media, which is a good thing. I've been guilty of it the last couple days, but thankfully I've programmed my algorithm to where, it's mostly positive stuff, educational stuff, cute little funny animal videos. That rock star guy that does the voiceovers for the animal videos, he is hilarious, dude. I can sit and roll like laughing so hard I'm crying, my belly hurts. 12:12 on the timer when I watch those videos. But that still doesn't make scrolling good. But you just have to be careful about what you feed yourself. You are what you eat. In every way possible of using that metaphor, you are what you eat. If you surround yourself with a bunch of lazy drug addicts, eventually that's what you're going to become if you stay around them long enough. Trust me, been there. There's not many scenarios as far as like that I can't relate to. Except for maybe like snobby groups. Like money groups. I've never been in that. But I know that I could hang if I were in that. Because I've had so much experience everywhere else. I can be classy. But boy, I can be trashy too. But I try not to, be that person. Because we should all aim to be better. Like, this is what just popped in my mind. Just because they make it in your size doesn't mean you should wear it. Apply that metaphor to life in general. Just because you can be that person doesn't mean you should be, right? Just because you can drop down to their level and do it better than they do doesn't mean you should. That's where growing and evolving and becoming a better person comes into play. You let the spirit realm know how you feel. Stand up for what you feel is right. Do what you can, but keep your hands clean. Yeah. Be blessed. Find peace, and I'll see you next time.